Yeah, so it's just saying he put it up on there. So I'm on it right now.
All right, let me see. Tell me if you see me in waiting, because
Okay.
I'm signing in to right now on my computer, and
people can hear this. Yeah, so when you enter into the transformation group, the idea and the mentality is forsake everything. Like forsake whether with intermittent fasting, whether it's my fitness pals, like get rid of all that stuff because we're trying to teach you how to be healthy and make being healthy a sustainable, enjoyable way. And you don't got to do all of that stuff to reach your optimal health. So we're trying to make it as simple as possible. So instead of doing all of that, we've given you a simple a habit share app. In your habit share app, all you want to do is for this first week, your focus should be on, all right, I want to make sure I get in a portion size of protein, which is the size of my palm. So I want to make sure I'm getting in a portion size of protein at every meal. So that may be, if I put 2 eggs in there, that may be 2 eggs. My hand's a little bigger, so I can put 2 eggs and a piece of sausage or something in there. So then guess what? This controls my calories, so I won't overeat. This allows me to get in my portion sizes, so I won't overeat. Just literally follow along with this right here.
I know,
Controls
he like busts
everything.
up in there as soon as you come home.
Hey, Corey, you got to cut your microphone off.
Sorry.
It's all right. But yeah, so that's what we want people to forsake everything. And when they enter into the group, literally just use the tools we're giving you because a fitness pal app or something like that is not going to help you with overeating. But what's going to help you is trying to get in the portion size, the palm size. So it's like, all right, so how do I stop overeating? All right, make sure whatever I go to eat, it fits in my palm. If it doesn't fit on my flat palm like this, then that food is too much. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I'm just basically one of the habits were to log your food.
Hold on. I can't. Who is this person? All right, who is it that just came in? Jen?
Yep.
Who is this, Jen Truex? Is this Jen Truex? Jen Truex? Matter of fact, I'm out there. All right, yeah. So what was you saying, Tracy?
The first habit was to log your food.
Yep.
And so that's all I use it for, is just to log the food. But it shows me all that stuff too, which I don't understand at all, but I'm at least logging it.
Yeah. So are you using your habit share app at all?
Yeah, just to push the check mark and say that I did it.
Okay, so I don't know if you was explained this or not. I mean, your coach probably did, but it's there within the first 2 weeks. So what you want to do is you don't want log your protein into your habit share app.
You can actually write down what you're eating in the habit share?
Yes, you can. So
okay.
Yeah. So when you go to press the little check mark, what you'll see is 3 little gray dots pop up. It's to your far right. You press on that. It allows you to leave a comment. All you're going to do is, let's say for breakfast, if you ate eggs, you would just put in eggs, and then top right, you're going to press save. And then it's going to be saved inside of your habit share app. So your coach is able to see then that you ate the protein. And then when you go to eat that, you want to make sure you eat it in portion size. Now, do you know what the portion size of protein is?
Yeah, your palm.
Yep, the palm. So anything, look, okay, so if it's like Greek, obviously you don't got to take the Greek yogurt and put in your thing, but it's going to be one of those little cups of Greek, one of them little cup containers of Greek yogurt, or it'd be, like I said, 2 or 3 eggs. It'd be a piece of chicken breast. It'd be a veggie burger. It'd be meatless meatballs. It'd be 20 grams of protein powder. That would be, so you want to, so that's going to control your portion size so you won't overeat.
Right. Gotcha.
All right. Yeah. So inside of your habit share app, just make sure you mark down what your actual protein was. And that's all you got to put in the habit share because the main focus is going to be on protein and eating it in the proper portion size. And you want to get in 1 serving with each meal or 3 to 5 servings a day.
Okay.
Yep. And you can just track it. No, but I'm glad you said that because I know a lot of, like within this first 2 weeks that we're doing it, we're just trying to get everybody used to and comfortable with it. So when they get past the protein habit, the rest of them flow smooth. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there that had that little issue as well. So I'm glad you brought that up. That's cool.
Good. Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. So I'm about to mute everybody that's
All
in
right.
here. And we're going to get this party started. All right, y'all. So the moment we all been waiting for, this is amazing. We're going to get into a teaching called Death to the Scale. Death to the Scale. All right, I chose this one because I know a lot of people struggle with that scale. And I hope after this teaching that I teach, we don't have those same struggles and we look at the scale a little different. So I'm going to go through the teaching, but we're going to be speaking and talking about it too. Okay, so the teaching not going to be terribly long, but we're going to speak and we're going to talk about it. So death to the scale. So I did a little research on the history of the scale, how it came about, what was the purpose of it and everything. And I found out what hinders our health journey is the idea behind the creation of the scale. So it's the idea behind the scale that really messes us up. So the weighing scales were born of necessity for traders. So there wasn't, like, the scale was never created for people to use. We was never really supposed to weigh ourselves. We didn't really start weighing ourselves with even a digital scale until like the 1900s, and it didn't really get good and popular until like you know what I'm saying? So like it wasn't really what we use to dictate or determine our health like we do now. So I'm gonna be explaining that. But it was born because it was necessity for traders. So traders that would trade gold for this or this for that, they would use a scale. It wasn't even really created for people. So as trading developed, merchants needed a way to assess the value of goods. So to assess the value of goods, we're gonna keep that in our mind. That could not simply be counted by pieces like irregular shaped gold nuggets or something like that. So I want to focus on that, assess the value of goods, because I said, so what hinders our health journey is the idea behind the creation of the scale. So the scale was created to assess the value of goods. So what does that mean? What we as people do, we have that same spirit. We are like the number on that 3-digit, 2-digit, whatever number on that scale, we let that dictate and determine our value as people. We let that dictate and determine our worth, our importance, our usefulness. We have a high opinion or a high regard of it. So it was used to measure the value of some goods, but we use it now to measure our weight that we weigh, and we put all our energy and all our effort into a number on a scale when the scale was never created for us to do that. Think about our ancestors, or if you look at these old pictures, these people look healthy, or these people living to 100 years old and 120 and 90 something years old, and we can't even touch that. But we got more technology and we think that's helping us out, but it's really hindering us because now everything is just so, what is my numbers? What is this? What is this? And I'm gonna get into it, but the whole mindset is we have to get our value and our health away from the scale. That does not dictate and determine how healthy you are. That does not dictate your worth, your value, your importance, or anything. So these are the reasons why I hate the scale. All right. So before I say that, it's pretty cool. So it's a scripture in the Bible when I'm reading it. And the Pharisees, they was trying to trap Jesus up on a certain question. And they asked him, they asked him about divorce. And so Jesus was like, well, the only reason why Moses gave divorce in the law was because of the hardness of your heart. And the reason why I say that, the only reason why I do scales is because if I wouldn't put a scale in there, people would do it anyway. Like people are addicted to the scale. They got to do it every day. But because you all, like people, they like, oh man, what's my number? What's my number? I got to see if I'm doing good. What's my number? What's my number? So that's the only reason why we got a scale. If it wasn't for that, if you all was literally just concerned about your health, I wouldn't have a scale. But you all are concerned about the number and not even your health. Like if you never, and I'm gonna ask a question that I want us to answer at the very end of this. Now, think about that. You probably never differentiated health from a scale because we think value, worth, everything is all in that number on a scale. All right. So I'm gonna be explaining this. So these are the reasons why I hate the scale. Number one reason is because the scale is a thief. That doesn't mean it steals, kills, and destroys. If you read your Bible, that's John 10:10. Sounds like the devil right there. But the scale is a thief. It steals, kills, and destroys. That's what thieves do. So what does the scale steal? It steals your joy. You could be working out, working hard, working your tail off, doing everything right. You step on the scale and you see 1 pound go off in 2 weeks, and you're like, oh man, this is stupid. This don't work. This is dumb. What? Like, so it's so you have joy of working out, you're feeling good, moving better. If that scale don't say what you wanted to say, my good, it steals your joy. The next one is not number 2, but it's under that bullet point, is steal, kill, and destroy. And if anybody wants me to send them these notes, I'll send you these notes so you can have them. You'll use those as an option. So it kills. So what does the scale kill? It kills your gains. What that means, it makes you belittle other accomplishments and can lead you back into bad habits. Somebody will say, well, I ain't been eating junk. I ain't been drinking pop. I ain't been doing this. I ain't been doing that. And man, they don't understand they're gaining so much health. They're gaining so many years back on their lives. But when they don't see that scale move, they don't care about them other accomplishment, and it leads them back. Well, I should have just ate the pizza then. I should have just ate the ice cream. Man, I didn't even go to the party and eat the cake. Man, you know what? I should have just ate the cake. Like what? No, you stop eating the cake because the cake is unhealthy for you. You didn't stop eating the cake because of a number on a scale. And if you did, you had the wrong mentality behind it. Also, it destroys your worth. So the steal, kill, and destroy. The scale destroys your worth. You know why? Because, and I'll get down to it, but it does steal your worth, meaning you like, oh, man, I'm fat, I'm dumb, I'm stupid. Look at, man, no, like it just makes you look at yourself as less valuable, less important because a number on a scale. You can be having a great week, a great month. You get on that scale, man, that ruins your whole day. Then it just leads you back into bad habits, bad ideas, bad thoughts. So it gets real. So that's number one. The scale is a thief. That's why I don't like it. That's why I hate it, actually. It's a number 2, it's a liar of true health. It doesn't determine whether you're truly healthy. Think about it. If you stepped on a scale and then went to a doctor, let's say if I'm a 6 foot, 212-pound running back playing in the NFL, I'm chiseled, I look like a Under Armour mannequin or a statue. A doctor will tell me I'm unhealthy. They will say, well, your BMI is too high. It doesn't matter if I'm healthy and I'm look good and all this other stuff. They will tell you that, no, you're obese or you're overweight. You see some of these guys, you're like, man, that dude is pure muscle. He's healthy. He's strong. He can move. He function good. He don't got high blood pressure. He don't got diabetes. He don't got any of this stuff. But they step on the scale, they will tell him he's obese. I mean, he's overweight or he's obese. So the scale is not a true indicator of true health. My mom is overweight. She's a little older, or whatever the case is. But her blood pressure and her cholesterol and all that stuff has went down. Her blood pressure was like 142 over whatever. Now it's all the way down to like 120 over 78. Even though she only lost 10 pounds in her 3-month journey, she's still losing or whatever the case is because she's finally learning how to master the art of losing weight. But she's getting healthier. She's adding years back onto her life. But she stepped on the scale and she sometimes feels down and depressed. I'd be like, Mom, like, what are you like? Nah, you're doing good. Like, I don't get that. But it's because of the scale. If she never stepped on the scale, she'd be happy. Her legs getting stronger and everything. Number 3, it controls people. People are like, oh man, I can't talk a person out of not being on the scale. I tell people, don't get on the scale. And then they text me and say, oh, I lost 3 pounds. I say, my first thing is, why was you on the scale? I told you don't get on the scale, because what about the week when you don't lose 3 pounds? And then you're gonna be like, oh man, this is stupid. So that's why I hate the scale. Number 4, it makes people feel like they cannot be healthy without it. And that's not true. You can be healthy without stepping on a scale. You don't have to see your weight every 2 days, 3 days, or every week or 2 weeks, or every month to be healthy. The definition of health is not how much you weigh. Number 5, it makes transformation impossible at times, because the transformation is a renewing of the entire person. You're changing your minds, you're changing your habits, you're changing your actions. But if you step on the scale and you don't see the numbers that you like, it can literally put a halt and a hindrance to you transforming completely. Number 6, it makes my job 10 times harder. That's why I hate this scale, because I wish I didn't have to even say you got to step on the scale. But I know if I didn't say step on the scale, number 1, you all will do it anyway. Number 2, you all be like, well, why can't I step on the scale? Then I get like a million questions about it. So it makes my job 10 times harder. Number 7, it has the power to keep you unhealthy. That might sound strange, but the skill has the power to lock you into a mindset. Like I'm talking to this one person or whatever, and they telling me like, okay, or the people I've talked to in the past, they like, I'm losing weight, and I'm like, all right, so what are you doing? I'm not eating, or I eat good for 3 days and I eat like crap for 4 days, like, but they're losing weight. Or a person could be on drugs or something, they don't weigh a certain pound, they step on that scale and they're like, oh, well, my weight is okay. I'm like, that's not healthy. It's not healthy not to eat nothing. It's not healthy to binge. It's not healthy to have, no. So it has the power to keep you from being unhealthy just because you see a number on the scale. Or you can step on the scale. You've been doing all these great nutrition habits. You're changing, your bones getting stronger. You're sleeping. You're doing all these great things. But then you step on the scale. It's like, oh, this is stupid. I might as well go back to eating. No, like that's not cool. Number 8, it makes you forget about where you came from. So I can have a person losing 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 pounds. They step on the scale the following week and they only lose a pound or 2, or they may gain 1 pound. And then they say, oh man, this is stupid. I'm like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. You just lost 50 pounds. Like, don't let that scale make you seem like you're, nah, that's horrible. Number 9, it blinds your mind from your true why you even entered into the transformation group, or why you enter into this lifestyle of desiring to be healthy. It blinds your mind, because let's say if something, your why was like, man, I haven't really been feeling comfortable to have date nights with my husband because I just don't feel comfortable in my body, and da 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 da. Or like, man, I want to have more energy during the day, or I want to make sure I'm able to play with my kids, or I want to. You can have an awesome why that had nothing to do with skill related. You step on that scale, you forget all about your why. You forget all about, man, I don't want to die when I'm 60 years old because my mom or my dad had a heart attack. Or I don't want to get my legs cut off because I see my mom get her leg cut off because she had diabetes and stuff like that. I step on the scale, oh, forget that. I'm going to just abandon everything I'm doing. No, you stepped on the scale because you wanted to live long. You didn't want diabetes. You wanted great health. That's why you stepped on the scale. So, but the skill can actually blind your mind from your original why. Number 10, it has the ability to negatively influence your decision making. So you can step on the scale. You've been eating good, doing your thing. You came to the awareness that cake and ice cream and cookies and Dairy Queens and oatmeal cream pies and soda pops, that's what's wrong. So then you don't see that scale move and you go right back to that stuff. Your decision makers get completely thrown off. Number 11, making developing healthy habits seem worthless. So you say, oh man, I've been eating my vegetables, my colorful fruits, I've been eating my protein, I've been eating this, that, but I haven't seen the scale move. So then it say, oh, eating protein must be worthless. Let me go back. What? No, eating protein got nothing to do with the scale. It has to do with your health in your body and that what you need for your body to properly function. Protein ain't got nothing to do with you trying to lose 100 pounds. Protein is like, look, you have bones, you have joints, you have ligaments, you have hormones. You need protein to operate those things. If you don't eat properly, all those things will be thrown off. You know what I'm saying? So don't look at like, oh, the scale didn't look like what I wanted to look, so forget it. Let me throw everything in. No, Number 12, and this is probably the saddest one. It causes anxiety. People like, oh my God, I got to step on the scale. Anger. Oh, this is stupid. Depression. Man, nothing worked. worry, stress, and even this is so sad. The scale causes suicidal thoughts. Now you may be thinking, well, that's not me. I don't get suicidal thoughts from the scale and all this other stuff. But what about the other things you may be getting that I've named? You know what I'm saying? But some people do take it that far. And I'm only saying this from people I've dealt with over my years of dealing with people with nutrition coaching, and some of the testimonies I've heard, and people wanting to harm themselves, hurt themselves. And it all started with, man, because they put their worth in the scale. All right. So those are the 12 reasons why I hate the scale. All right. So I'm hoping it's giving you a different perspective on a scale. Don't put all your value in a scale. Why? This last part is be what the scale doesn't do. So this is what the scale does not do. The scale itself does not make you healthier. That's number one. Like, I got so many things on here. So the scale itself does not make you healthier. All right. So I never saw nobody getting healthy by just stepping on and off a scale. I'm healthier because the scale makes me healthier. Every time I step on this scale, I lose weight. This scale makes me eat right. The scale doesn't do anything. All right. So the scale does not make you healthier. That's what it doesn't do. Number two, it doesn't make you a better mom, dad, husband, wife, believer, friend, etc. Whatever you want to put in, the scale does not make you better. So don't put your value and worth in a scale. The scale does not cause you to lose weight, contrary to popular belief. It's not the scale that causes me to lose weight. It's the actions and the habits that I consistently do that's sustainable and enjoyable that I do when I'm off the scale that actually produces the results. So it's not the scale that causes me to actually lose weight. Number four, it doesn't make you look any better. I never say I got on the scale and guess what? I look better because I'm on the scale. Like the scale. So I'm trying to hit at whatever you want out of your health journey. The scale does not do it for you. Number five, and then number five, I'm gonna break it down to a list of a ton of. And number five, it doesn't tell the whole story. It doesn't tell the whole story. And I'm gonna break that down. So the scale doesn't tell. Only thing the scale does is give you a 3-digit number. It doesn't tell the whole story. What I mean by that, like I was using example with my mom, it doesn't tell me that I've lowered my cholesterol, my blood pressure is down, I'm no longer pre-diabetic. It doesn't say that, man, because I stepped on the scale, I can now fit in these new clothes or these clothes that I couldn't fit in for years. These are a part of your story. This is a part of your testimony. This is what you've been doing. My clothes fit different, but when I step on that scale, I feel horrible. No, look, there's so many different ways to measure whether you're becoming healthier, and the scale is not one of them. The scale is not, no, the scale is not one of them, okay? So the other parts of the story, like, man, I feel like I can wear any shirt that I want. I feel so much better. I can lift objects. I used to have to get other people to help me pick up these certain objects. Now I can do it myself. I can walk up and down the stairs without being tired. My stomach, face, and body looks different. I've lost so many inches. This stuff is non-scale related. Everything I'm naming is non-scale related. I can fit this belt on now. This is crazy. My rings, I had a lady, Stephanie Gamble, said, look, I could not get my red and rings off for a year. I've been working out, doing my thing. Now my rings come off. The scale didn't tell her that. No, it's just her healthy habits have told her that she had eliminated some of that salt that's causing her to swell up all the time, like that we teach on. So she's been doing those things. I used to have an eating disorder, but I don't no more. The scale doesn't tell you that. I've never felt this alive. My daughter texted me. These are all the people that people said. These are non-scale victories. My daughter texted me from college and asked me about healthy eating options. My spouse has lost weight since I've made changes. My energy is amazing. I'm so much stronger. I'm not sitting on the couch every day anymore. I have date night now with my spouse. I haven't had date night in 20 years. I can keep up with my kids and grandkids. I'm finally sleeping at night. I'm a lot more confident in my approach to life. I can finally jump rope. I can box jump. I haven't been able to run in years without being in pain. I've made new friends and connections. I have a great time when I'm exercising. I have a better attitude. I'm not as stressed as I used to be. I enjoy time with my family and friends. I am no longer a slave to food. My decision and habits are now better. I have habits and skills now that I can carry into life and be a healthy individual. I feel like I've added 20 extra years onto my life. You see all those non-scale victories, and this is the sad part about it. One person can testify to all these things, and if they have the wrong attitude and the wrong mentality and step on that scale, they don't care about none of that stuff. And that's sad because I just named 30. Man, I named about 30 things right now that ain't got nothing to do with the scale. But we put all our health journey and all our value and all our work. What does the scale say? What does the scale say? What does the scale say? And we go crazy. We get depressed and anger, and it just leads to a lot of bad. Oh man, I just haven't seen the scale move. Like, no, forget that. All right, you're doing great. You keep learning. We'll focus on that. Don't let that be a determining factor to anything. We'll get that right. Because remember, people have been healthy long before the scale was even around or developed. So don't put your worth and value in it. So I asked you this question and I'm wrapping it up. I'm about done. What story are you allowing the scale to tell you? If if the scale never moved another pound for the rest of your life, would you be an unhappy person, and would you quit your health journey and go back to living and doing what you were doing before you entered into this transformation group? Ask yourself that question. What story? Remember, I told you this scales the thief. It comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So, what story are you allowing the scale to tell you? And if the scale never moved another pound for the rest of your life, would you be an unhappy person, and would you quit your health journey and go back to living and doing what you were doing before you entered into this transformation group? If the answer to any of those questions are yes, then we need to have a discussion privately to determine why, what makes you and why you have such low value of yourself that a number on a scale dictates and determines everything. All right. So that was just my teaching on death to a scale. And I might be very passionate about that because I've seen so many good people fall by the wayside. So many people stop smoking cigarettes. Like, look, my God. Okay. So I got this one lady real quick, and I'm gonna open up so we can discuss. Man, she did amazing. She stopped smoking cigarettes. Okay, she was smoking cigarettes. She lost weight and she was doing great and everything like that. Life got the best of her. The corona stuff with the shutdowns and stuff got the best of her. So she put back on weight. She got involved in school, put back on weight. But during this time, we've been working on her for a year to stop smoking. We've been weaning her down little by little. She finally stopped smoking, feeling great. And she put back on some weight. It wasn't just because of the smoking, but she thinks it was. But it was because she was no longer consistent in the gym, no longer consistent with her nutrition habits. She's got away from everything. And she is actually considering going back to smoking because she don't like the number on the scale. That's crazy. She got three little kids. She's helping their lungs out. No longer they're smoking around the house. All this great stuff, but a stupid number on a scale. She said, I'd rather go back to smoking and jeopardizing the health of her children over it. That's Think about that for a quick second, y'all. Like, that's to the scale. Like, put this scale crap away. Don't worry about that. Let's keep eating healthy. Let's focus on being consistent. Health had nothing to do with that scale. We'll focus on that. If it's like, all right, I'm not saying a person can't use a scale. I'm not saying we can't use scales for benefits. But what I am saying is when we overthink and overdo the scale stuff, I've seen health journeys crumble because of a number on the scale, and it should not be that. All right. So I hope it didn't confuse anybody or mess anybody up. That's just my true, honest thoughts and opinions and beliefs about that scale. Scale can be used for good, but for our journey, we 9 times out of 10 use it as the sole determining factor. Because we can say, oh, all this other stuff matters, but when it comes down to it, when we on and off that scale in our mind, it messes with us to a T. All right, so let's open this up, and we got about 20 minutes. If somebody want to say anything or discuss, anybody want to say anything, you can go right on ahead. Any thoughts, any ideas about that? You all did some great conversations last week. I know people, when I posted it, loved to hear certain stuff that you all were saying. It was helping them out and stuff like that. So that was amazing. So if you have anything,
I'll share something.
Okay.
I want to say I've had kind of the experience that you're talking about. So probably about 4 years ago, I got into the habit of weighing once a day, and I want to say it just took over. So what you talked about in the first video is like, health is more than just about your weight or whatever it is. It's like there's all these different facets to health. And when I was focused on the scale and that's it like took over everything. And I became, really thin, but not healthy in a lot of other ways. So I love this. I agree with it.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Great job. And that was amazing. I'm glad she brought that up because she said, what did it do? And one of my things I said, it controls people. Like, and she said it perfectly. I'm glad she said that. What Alyssa said was, and I heard it, she said it took over and she realized that, look, I'm losing weight, but I'm not healthy. So I thought the goal in life is to be a healthy individual. But if I'm just losing weight, but it ain't healthy, number one, that's going to be hard to sustain. Number two, it's not going to be enjoyable or pleasurable. And number three, I don't think you want to do that for the next 30, 40 years of your life. We have so much more life to live if we get healthy, not if we get X amount of number on the scale. All right. So I'm glad she said that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Anybody else? Because a lot of people are going to be listening to this later. So that was good. So if you got any comments or if you want to think how probably other people may be thinking, or if you yourself had a struggle with this in the past.
I think you're right. I mean, you look at the scale, if you look at 5 pounds of muscle and 5 pounds of fat, I mean, if you lose it, if you get healthy and you start feeling better and stuff fits better, doesn't matter what the number is.
Mm-hmm.
I think like I feel better already, and I don't want to know the number.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to know the number, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people that don't have the group or the connection that we all have, I think when they look, the only one they have is with that scale, and then they put all that hard work for 2 pounds. It's like, man, people just they don't think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go throw mine out here in a little bit. So.
Amen. Look, death to that scale. We're gonna have a destroying scale party. We got sledgehammers in the back. Corey knows how to use them on them tires. We got sledgehammer. We're gonna take our scales and just break them thing. Because look, you think about it, it's such a new invention. It's not like people back in the 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 11, 12. This is a new thing, man. And then we have become addicted to it because it was never created for humans. It was like never created for humans to actually weigh themselves on. It was created for trading and merchants. And that's why it came about. It was not created for us. And because we just don't even know how to use it. Like we take it and we just condemn ourselves all day long. Like we could be doing the healthiest stuff, eating the right stuff. That's why it's fall in love with your foods, fall in love with your habits, fall in love with being healthy, not weighing a certain amount of pounds. Be healthy. Obviously, we're going to lose some weight, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, fall in love with how does it feel not to just eat donuts and cookies? Like I didn't even know how it felt for 30 years of my life not to even eat like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my highs was 238, and to each his own. So I was a 170 or 180 pound basketball player. So that's 60 pounds I put on, and you know what I'm saying? Like that was crazy that I put on that much weight. And man, I feel great that I don't eat that same stuff anymore. It's been amazing, and I just feel great, man. The biggest thing I've got out of this is I'm no longer a slave to food. I was a slave, like, man, to oat milk. Like I was a slave, like I could not go without that stuff. And now people say, well, you can have. I'm not saying you can't have that stuff, but that's not even on my mind. And I'm not saying like it doesn't control me anymore. I don't crave it anymore. Now it takes a while for a person to actually get there. I'm not saying that, but look, I'm not living by that scale no more. I mean, I may not ever weigh myself again. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just focused on my health. And if I can play with my son for the next, he's not even 1 year old. I can play with him for the next 18 years. Look, don't care what that number on the scale say. I'm playing with him for the next 18 years. My knees feel good. My 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 mind is right. My habits are straight, and I'm playing with him for the next 20 years. And he's going to enjoy a very active father. So you know what I'm saying. So like that's more of my goal. Anybody else? Rachel, you got anything?
Yeah. So, I know I've experienced in the past, like where, I'll have like a good week of working out, a good week of eating, and I'll just be nosy and I'll get on the scale and I'll be like, oh, let me see what I weigh. And then it does mess with your mind whenever you're like, oh my gosh, well, I thought it was gonna be better than that. Well, that was stupid. Like just, you just get in your head and you're just like, man, I just thought that number was gonna be better. But like, if you just looked in the mirror and you're like, yeah, I look good, I feel good. But then as soon as you get on the scale, it can rob your joy.
Mm-hmm.
So I've experienced that, and I agree with what you said.
Good. Because I remember, man, when I was first trying to lose weight, I was doing this little weight loss thing or whatever, and you had to weigh X amount of pounds. So look, it messed me up. I ain't gonna lie. So I was doing good, and I had to be like 195 or something. And I was like, man, last few days, I've been eating minimum, been doing all this working out. I got on the scale, I think it was like a week. I got on the scale and I only lost like a pound. I immediately went to Dairy Queen. Look, I ain't even gonna lie. I immediately went to Dairy Queen, got my Burger King. I was like, man, this is stupid. You know why? Because my mind and stuff wasn't changing. I was just focused on a number on a scale. None of my habits or nothing. I immediately, look, when I say immediately went to Dairy Queen, I got off that scale like, this is stupid. Boom. And that's how I took my frustration out. That was probably like 3 years ago when I did that. But look, that's literally how it happens, man. Like it messes with you, man. It literally messes with you. Only time is your friend for most people is if they're constantly losing weight at a respectable clip too. It ain't even a pound. It don't matter if they lose a pound or two. If they lose a pound, but see their friends or husband lose 7 pounds, they're like, oh man, this is stupid. I'm like, what? How you've been gaining weight for the last 15 years? You haven't gained a pound in 3 weeks. Why are you, or you lost 1 pound in 3 weeks? You've been gaining weight for 15 years. Why are you mad about that? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. All right. Anybody else? Tracy, Jen, you all have any experiences that you may want to share with the scale? Or should I ask a different question? Jen, Truex, what do you think about the scale? I don't even know if Jen can hear me. Jen, can you hear me? This is Jen's first time. While we're waiting on Jen, what about your experience, Tracy? You have any experience with the scale?
I don't really pay attention to it.
Good.
I never have. I mean, I already know the books say I'm overweight, but that's just the books. And as long as my clothes fit me every day, I feel good about it. And I just go based on like how my body feels. And I mean, respectively, no, honestly, I don't care about the number at all.
Good.
As long as I look good and feel good is how I always kind of look at it.
There you go. And think about with that mentality for the next, let's say 40 years, if you know what I'm saying, if the good Lord don't come back before then. But over the next 40 years, if you keep that mentality, as long as you're going to be developing habits and you're going to be figuring out different tactics and techniques to be healthy, to last long, to have longevity. Not I'm trying to figure out tactics to make this number on the scale look a certain number on the scale. I'm not saying defeat to people having like 150-pound weight loss. I'm not saying that's not a big deal to them or whatever the case is, but I'm saying it gets to a point where eventually weight loss stops. Okay, so you're not gonna be losing weight for the rest of your life. So then what? So say after that person loses that 150 pounds, then what? You got to like live in that body. You have to have the habit, but your mind was only on a number, and that number start looking not how you want it to look. It's basically setting you up, and that's why the scale is so sneaky. That's why I call it a thief, because it sets you up for failure when you see, oh yeah, okay, I done worked all hard to lose this 150 pounds, 100 pounds. Because you see it all the time. Like, I don't know if y'all remember that show, Biggest Loser. And I read some of the documentaries and stuff on that. Those people gain so much weight back because of how they do it through certain pills and they work out so many hours a day and they don't get a chance to experience life while trying to lose weight. They're just on a show and they got to do this and they do that and they do crazy stuff. So when they get off the show, those people put all that weight back on because they never focus on anything but a number on a scale. So yeah, thanks for that, Tracy. That's amazing.
Yep, you're welcome.
And
I do
Jen,
have one problem though.
yeah, go.
It's a little bit off. Can you hear me?
Yep.
My deal is the only thing I kind of get hung up on is if I lose too much weight, well, I'm gonna have too much extra skin hanging around, or I feel like it won't snap back or whatever because I'm getting at that age.
Mhm.
So that's my only thing. I think that's another reason why I really don't look at the number too much
Mhm.
either. I don't know.
Yep. Okay, so cool. And I'm glad you said that. Girl, you're good. And this is why this is good because I bet you're like the Bible says ain't nothing new under the sun. So it's a lot of people thinking like that. Okay. So this is the importance of eating the healthy foods and the weightlifting and stuff because it allows us to tone up, get stronger, get leaner as much as possible that we can possibly do. So if a person is
Mhm.
losing weight and they're taking in the proper amount of protein and carb and they're coming and they're lifting and they're moving, it won't be because some people, what they do is a lot of people, they lose a lot of weight and it's by, let's say, eating and they just like walk, which is not a bad thing. So they just walk. And then, but with every, and this is the thing about it, with every pound of weight you lose, you're also losing some muscle. So that's why you have to eat properly and lift and work out to maintain that muscle so we can avoid a lot of things like the flabby skins or whatever the case may be. So eating the proper food, lifting weights, doing lifting weights just is the same thing as saying resistance training. And it don't have to be Arnold Schwarzenegger weights. It can be you're just making sure you're lifting those weights and you're doing your thing according to what your abilities is, and you're always challenging your body. So because what the weights do, it eliminates body fat. It allows because muscle eats up the body fat. So that's why you see these big muscular dudes doing show. They got like super duper crazy muscles with low body fat. Not saying anybody can even look like that because you all don't eat a way that a person. So don't. So my women, their biggest hang up be like, oh, I don't want to get too big. First of all, you won't because you don't eat like that. Meaning you would have to eat like because it's a big lady in the gym and she puts in like 200 something grams of protein, 200 something grams of carbs a day, and da 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 da. So she has all that stuff laid out, but she purposely tries to get big. You won't get big. What happened is if you come in there, lifting your weights, eating right, losing your weight, that will tone up. And then if you're like, well, I want to work on these certain areas, that's why you got trainers. And then we'll tell you how many days a week you should be doing these things to really isolate and focus on the certain muscle groups. So we deal with a lot, and I think Steve figured this out. We deal with a lot of functional movement, being able to step up and on down things, being able to pull yourself, being able to swing and throw things, and being able to step forward and backward and carry things. That's what a lot of our movements are. Now, if you want to just isolate, like I know a lot of my women say, oh, I work on my butt. I want to really get the inner thigh. I want to really get this stuff. A lot of our exercises do that. But if you want to isolate those, all you gotta do is come to me or let me know, and I can, have a day where I meet you up there, and I can program stuff into your Alloy app that can show you, okay, how can I focus on these certain places and certain areas, and what should I be doing for my stomach or something like that, so I can help you out further in those places. So that doesn't have to be a fear of yours of losing weight and becoming really flabby, because you're going to be in the gym, you're eating proper, and you got trainers that help you eliminate some of that flab by building muscle.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yeah, I'm still scared, but we're gonna go with it.
Look, I just told you something to free you. Come on,
I
man.
know.
I'm trying to make you free, and you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I know. I'll get there. It's my arms, like they're starting to. Even when I turn them upside down to wipe on something, all the skin goes to the top of them. Like,
Okay.
oh, but I'm getting there.
Okay, yeah. So, how many days do you go in the gym?
Well, so far I started out with just the one, and then now I got it up to 2, and now I'm working on 3.
Okay. So, yeah. So what do you do when you go in there?
Either the afterburn class I've been to, and then the small group, and then I went in on my own twice and just got on the treadmill to just start getting comfortable with going to the gym again.
There we go. All right. So maybe we hook up here pretty soon for like a day or two, and I show you 2 workouts that can really, instead of going up there and getting on the treadmill, which I don't knock that or nothing like that, but the treadmill is not going to help with, and you probably already understand this, so I'm not saying, but the treadmill
Yeah.
won't help with any flabbiness. So what can happen is I can show you exercises that can really pull down and target some of those areas. Now I'm not this guru that can say poof be gone and stuff is gone, but I can give you exercises that target those areas. So on your off days, or if you got 30 minutes just to come up here quick, you can jump on these machines and really get you some good exercise and working out in. So me and you can
Okay.
coordinate a day and a time where I can show you two different styles of workouts, and you tell me all the areas that you want to attack. And now, so then on them days off, instead of jumping on the treadmill, say, no, I'm gonna hit this weight, I'm gonna do this thing. I can walk on the treadmill a little bit, but while I'm in here, I really want to focus on, these certain areas. And I can probably do me maybe a 10, 15-minute treadmill, but I want to spend like 30 to 45 minutes focusing on this weight, this strength, because that's what's going to really tone and that's what's going to make those areas that you're seeing as flabby as solid.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds good. Yep.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So yeah, maybe I'll hook up with you. Like what's tomorrow? Probably like tomorrow. I'll give you what time do you go to the gym?
Usually in the evenings because I work during the day, and I clean like all day long, so I'm already getting cardio all day pretty much.
Hmm. Okay, well we can lift some weights then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Are you free like around like 5:30 on any day?
I was gonna come in Thursday for 5:30 afterburn, and then I have 4:30 on Friday. So tomorrow I could probably go around 5:30 if that works.
Okay. So yeah, I can, because I got church and stuff, whatever. So how about Thursday instead of, what am I doing Thursday? Okay, yeah. How about Thursday instead of doing the afterburn, I take you through a weight room workout.
Okay, yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be good?
Yep.
Yep, because then you'll now, caution, you may be a little sore, but it's okay. That's just your body saying, okay, all right, now we're going to get some muscle. So I
Right.
always tell people, don't be discouraged by that. All right.
Okay, sounds great.
Yeah,
So
so I'm gonna
Thursday,
write,
5:30.
yeah, I'm gonna write that down. Yep, Thursday. 'Cause I got church tomorrow. So Thursday, 5:30 p.m. I got you. All right, but if
Okay.
anybody got anything else, if they
Thank you.
don't, that was amazing. Thank you all for tuning in again. So I'm about to get to this level 2 people, and I'm teaching them the same exact thing. All right, y'all. Y'all take care. Text me, call me any questions. Bye-bye.